Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I will be answering this simple question from Lazara Dovanovic, and it says, what about WWCOIN? So of course this comment came on my video where I was talking about PCX exchange, and this person is asking what about WWCOIN. So when I saw this comment, I didn't know anything about WWCOIN, so I quickly did a simple search. So let's do WWCOIN and search for exactly what it is, right? So there is WWCOIN2.com. So I'm going to click on this WWCOIN2.com and let's see. So from what I see here, WWCOIN, most trusted cryptocurrency trading platform. So it's a trading platform, and what quickly caught my attention is the fact that WWCOIN demonstrates commitment to legal and transparent operation through MSB registration. Of course, so they're claiming MSB registration, which is a good thing, right? At least the basic minimum is that the company has MSB at least, so we can verify that okay, they are registered. So there is the registration means at least there is a face to the company, but again, that does not mean that you cannot be scammed, okay? Because there are known companies, like popular companies, that actually had MSB registration but also ended up scamming people in billions of dollars, right? So again, I just want to put that out of the way. So www.coin2.com is the domain name. The first thing I always like you to do is check when this domain name was registered, so that you can know how long these people have been in the game, because you also want to check the time period that a company has been in existence before you can say, oh, they're trusted, right? So let's see, WWCOIN2. So how do you check? You go to whois.com/whois, and then you can type in the domain name, which is www.coin2.com, which is what you can see right there. And you see this domain name www.coin2.com was registered in 2024. Now this is too early to conclude that you trust a particular platform. It is too early, okay? It's still too early. Anything can still happen. So this is 2024, and not very long. This is just October. This is October 2024, and we're just in March 2025. So you can see that it's the domain, it has not been long, right, that this domain name was registered. Another thing you want to check is that so they have like app, so you can easily check for the reviews. So I'm just going to check. I'm going to scan this and I'll read out some of the reviews. And when you want to check for the reviews, please go for the 1-star reviews, please, okay? So I'm going to scan this. You can check this by yourself, right? You don't even need anyone to check this. And I don't even trust installing this app because it's not on the App Store. It's actually on the website, okay? Is actually so again, look at it. It's not, the app is not on the App Store. You have to download it and install it manually. I don't know if you guys can see it. So, and of course you can see I have a warning, file might be harmful, right? So I'm not going to install this. So that's one thing. That's a red flag if the app is not on the App Store, where people can actually go and drop a review about the app. Then it's a red flag. Now let us also look at the claims. So they claim they have MSB license, and yes, I have checked and I can see WWCOIN on the on FinCEN website. Of course, you know FinCEN is responsible for MSB registration, right? So if you check, you can see, yes, that there is indeed a WWCOIN registered. But let me draw your attention to something on MSB, that the inclusion of a business on this MSB registration search webpage is not a recommendation, certification of legitimacy, or endorsement of the business by any government agency. Please note, look at it, boldly written. The inclusion of a business on this MSB registrant search web page is not a recommendation, is not certification of legitimacy or endorsement of the business by any government agency, right? So what I feel is like these platforms are becoming wiser and seeing that okay, people have the tendency to trust a particular platform because it's MSB, it's on the MSB registration search website, right? But MSB itself, they are telling you that, look, the inclusion of a business, because you saw a business here, doesn't mean MSB recommends it or this is a certificate of legitimacy. Now, another thing I will show you in this video, I will now show you some other strict search on some other strict pages that you can search, right? Some other stricter regulatory bodies, because getting the MSB license is even the barest minimum, and it's not really strict. It's not a strict regulatory body, so anybody can register MSB and get their business on this MSB search page, right? Anybody, really. Now, I will show you other websites where you can actually search, and these regulatory bodies are stricter than this MSB, right? Are stricter than FinCEN. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, have there been companies that had MSB license and ended up scamming a lot of people? The answer is yes. Okay, and I will share with you some of those companies that had MSB license but scam people in billions. Now let's look at some of the companies. Number one, Bitconnect. Bitconnect was MSB registered before its collapse, right? And what scam happened? It was a Ponzi scheme on registered securities. What happened? Promised high returns via a lending program, collapsed in 2018 after regulatory crackdowns, legal action, SEC charges, class action lawsuits. OneCoin claimed MSB compliance but fake. MSB registration, fraudulent claim. Some shell companies may have been registered. Then what scam type? It was a massive Ponzi scheme in tune of $4 billion. Right? That's OneCoin. And now we are seeing WWCOIN. Okay. What about Gain Bitcoin? India based but had US MSB. Can you see? So yes, in Gain Bitcoin was registered MSB license, but it was a Ponzi scheme and they scammed people in tune of $300 million. The founder was arrested. Investors lost millions. Right? What about Plus Token? Claim compliance but exit scam. MSB registration, yes, they registered. Look at Plus Token was how much? $3 billion. So if anytime you see a company getting MSB compliance, just know that that scam is going to be in tune of billions of dollars, right? Not like billions of dollars. Mirror Trading International, the same thing, right? They had MSB, and how much did they scam people? $1 billion plus, right? Liquidated in 2020, CEO arrested. Even our beloved MTFE, MSB registered, and they scam people in billions of dollars. Now, let's say, why do these scam people get MSB registration? I've answered this question before. So MSB registration is actually not an endorsement. Let's get this out of the way. FinCEN does not vet businesses for legitimacy, only collects registration data. So if you are able to provide some documentations, FinCEN will register you, even you and I. Then shell companies can register easily, then disappear, right? Then scammers exploit trust by pointing their MSB status as proof of legitimacy, which is what your coin, your WWCOIN is doing. Look at, demonstrate commitment to legal and transparent operation through MSB registration. No, that's not how you demonstrate it. Okay, now there are other regulatory bodies that you can check and confirm if that company is legit or not. And if MSB is the only body that they point you to say, oh, we are MSB, no, anybody can get that. But if you check sec.gov, right, you want to search, so you can quickly do the search. WWCOIN, you want to search if they are available there. You see on sec they are not available, right? Now there is also SFC. This one is very, very popular. So there is SFC. You want to search SFC. For example, I'll go to corporate and I'll check WWCOIN. Okay, so let's search. So I'm searching, and you can see that sorry, there is no name like WWCOIN. So again, we've searched sec, they're not there. We've searched SFC. In fact, SFC, that's the first place you should check, right? Because these bodies are stricter. They verify the authenticity and the legality of the companies, and these companies have to have a reserve in the bank in case anything go wrong. Investors will be paid their money. That's how strict the SFC is. So if you see any company who says go and check SFC, you see us there, and you really find them there, please rush to such an organization. They are committed to even reimbursing you even if you lose your money, right? But when companies just come up and say, oh, we are MSB registered, no, anything can still happen. I've shown you a list of companies. Liberty Reserve is one of such companies. Ended up scamming a lot of people. Let's look at, of course, I've shown you SEC, right? I've shown you SFC. There is also BrokerCheck, right? So you can still check here, individual name. So okay, let me check. Free to created by Financial Industry Regulation Authority to research the background experience of financial advisors and firms. So let me see WWCOIN. So let me search. So you can see on BrokerCheck, no results, right? So again, that means FINRA doesn't recognize them. You need to check all these things, guys. CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, search it. Search. Okay, WWCOIN. 0 of 0, they're not there. So all these websites, there is FCA, right? Financial Service Register. Search it. Okay, so search FCA. You can see how I'm doing all the search. WWCOIN. It's a firm, right? So you search. So unfortunately we didn't find any results. So you can see I've searched more than how many, almost 5 different what do you call it now, 5 different monetary authorities of Singapore. Search all these things. At least MSB license alone, you know, in and of itself is not a proof of legitimacy. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you all. So if you do all these searches on all these different websites that I've mentioned, you can see all of them, and then you find that, oh, okay, maybe they have presence in maybe like 3-4 different other regulatory bodies, then you can boldly say they're legit. But with just the MSB license, I cannot tell you for a fact that, look, they're legit. And I cannot also say for a fact that they're a scam. But what I can tell you is that I see red flags, okay? And the red flags I see is, the red flags I see, number one, the age of the domain is still too young to give them the proof of doubt. This is 2024. It's not even up to a year. The age of the domain is a red flag. Still too young. You want to associate with companies that have been in existence for a very long time, right? And then the fact that they're not registered with other stricter regulatory bodies like SFC and all. They're not registered. They have no presence there. And then what again? The fact that the app is not on the Play Store or on the App Store. You have to manually download and install. This means that people cannot easily drop the reviews. You see that? So especially the early adopters, they cannot really drop reviews and, you know, say what is wrong and what is not, and things like that. Another thing is you can still you can send a message to the SFC, and, you know, they will call them to order and issue a warning, really public warning against things like this. But I mean, it is what it is, right? So that's my summation. Before you put your money in all this stuff, make sure you do your research, make sure you ask the right questions, make sure you see proof of withdrawal and all this kind of stuff before you invest. And the ultimate thing is, I always tell you guys, don't invest what you cannot afford to lose. Okay, don't invest what you can't afford to lose. That's the golden rule of investment on the entire cyberspace. All right, so our duty here is really to help everyone stay safe. All right, guys, so our duty here is to make sure that you are safe on the cyberspace, to make sure that we tell you the truth regarding all these platforms and you don't lose your money. So make sure you share the video so that others can learn. Make sure you do your investigation as well, and as usual, subscribe and turn on your notifications so when I drop a new video you are aware. Okay, stay safe online. I'll see you in the next one, guys. All right.